Okay, today's focus of our toolbox is on questioning. Questioning. And this is all about making yourself stop in a text and ask yourself questions. Okay? So, the first thing we're going to do is start on page 35 and we're going to divide our text into pieces. So, I'm going to start with the background because it gives it to us. That's one piece. Then I'm going to do this first, I would say paragraph, and some of these little ones, I'm going to group them together and make a note there. Then that last paragraph, I'm going to group with the next one, or no, that's one paragraph, I think, on that page. So I'm going to put a dash right there by 6. I'm going to put a dash between 8 and 9. I'm going to put another dash between 10 and 11. On the next page, I'm going to put a dash between 12 and 13, one at the end of 14. That next page is small because of the picture, so then we're going to move over here and put it between 16 and 17, and then we'll go to the end, okay? So make sure that your dashes line up with mine so that we can stay all together. All right, the background says, Nadine Gordimer, 1923 to 2014, was born in South Africa. Her family was privileged and white in a country that practiced apartheid, an official policy of segregation of non-white South Africans. Gordimer became politically opposed to the policy. Her early works, such as The Soft Voice of the Serpent and The Lying Days, explore themes of exile and the effects of apartheid on life in South Africa. Before apartheid ended in 1994, some of Gordimer's writings were banned by the South African government. Gordimer was awarded many literary prizes, including the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1991. All right, so I have some questions about Nadine Gordimer. First of all, I want to know maybe why she wrote this. Why did the author... Ooh, I spelled author wrong. Author write this. So that's question number 1. I'm going to write it in the margins. Question number 2 is, let's see, why is it named this? So why is it named Once Upon a Time? And then, you know, that title kind of makes me think that maybe 3, is it a fairy tale? Because that is what I associate with Once Upon a Time. Okay? Now, for each section, we're jotting down 3 questions because the activity that we're doing today is called Jot Down 3. So for every section, 3 questions. All right, so let's begin. Once Upon a Time, a short story by Nadine Gordimer. Someone has written to ask me to contribute to an anthology of stories for children. I reply that I don't write children's stories, and he writes back that at a recent Congress Book Fair seminar, a certain novelist said every writer ought to write at least one story for children. I think of sending a postcard saying I don't accept that I ought to write anything. And then last night I woke up, or rather was awakened, without knowing what had aroused me. A voice in the echo chamber of the subconscious, a sound. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and out here to the side, I'm going to mark that we're going to start a new section. I'm going to start with my first question. Really, my first question is, why not children's stories? Right? What's she got against it? She obviously has something, right? Why not kids' stories? My second question, what the heck is this that woke her up, right? What woke her up? And then she mentioned that there's a sound. So what is the sound? Okay. So those are my 3 questions for that section. Then I continue reading. A creaking of the kind made by the weight carried by one foot after another along a wooden floor. I listened. I felt the apertures of my ears distend with concentration. Again, the creaking. I was waiting for it. waiting to hear if it indicated that feet were moving from room to room, coming up the passage to my door. I have no burglar bars, no gun under the pillow, but I have the same fears as people who do take these precautions, and my window panes are thin as rime, could shatter like a wine glass. A woman was murdered. How do they put it? In broad daylight, in a house 2 blocks away last year, and the fierce dogs who guarded an old widower in his collection of antique clocks were strangled before he was knifed by a casual laborer he had dismissed without pay. All right, so I have some more questions. Question 1. Is there someone in her house? Right? Is there someone there? 2. Not only is someone there, but why does she still live there if all of these bad things have happened? Right? And finally, my number 3. My next question might be like, what's going to happen? Maybe, yeah. What is going to happen to her? Oh, okay. I want you to continue jotting down 3 questions per section as you read the rest of the story. Okay, so if you do everything right, let's see how many questions you should have. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. You should have a grand total of 27 questions. Okay. If you have any questions for me, please get on the Google Meets or send me a message.